of this union, whether they like each other or whether she just has a tolerate them, you know she's going to say, man, I got a headache, so I can come back next week. They had at least 5 children. Those children are Frank Woulard, Martha Woulard Battle Clark, Tom Woulard, Francis Woulard Pittman, and Jerry Woulard. Many of you are descendants of one of those families. Quite a few of you are descendants of 2 of those families. Now, for Frank Woulard was married to a lady named Elizabeth Pittman. Frank Woulard died sometime between 1885 and 1900 in Battles, Mississippi. Elizabeth Woulard died in 1924. We know because we have her death certificate. The next one, Tom Woulard. He died in 1926 in battle. His wife Harriet Woulard died in 1929 in battle. Martha Woulard Battle Clark died in 1934 in battle. She's actually buried at Mount Depot. Her husband Jim Battle died sometime between 1880 and 1885. She took another husband named Wade Clark from the state line. He died in 1927. Martha and Wayne are buried next to each other. For those of you familiar with Mount Depot, there's another headstone next to her. It says either Jim or James Battle. That was not her husband. That was her son. Francis Woulard Pittman died in 1929, October 26, 1929. Her husband Sam Pittman died in 1914. Jerry Woulard died sometime between 1906 and 1910. His wife, Rhoda Jean Woulard, died sometime between 1920 and 1930, either in Wayne County or Clark County. So for Frank's children, they are Tom Woulard. I know we got a lot of Tom Woulard people in the house. Charlie Woulard, Dozier Woulard, Jerry Woulard, Francis Woulard Packard. Anybody know George Packard from the same line who just passed away? That's Francis Woulard Pittman's grandson. Okay. Anybody know Reverend Tab Johnson from Leesville? Frank Woulard is his grandfather. His mother was Adeline Woulard Johnson. They had another sister named Jenny Woulard Harrison. For Martha Woulard Battle. Yeah, Frank Battle. I know there's a lot of Frank Battle people here. Where the Matty Battle Ward people at? That's Frank Battle. Frank Battle's wife was Adeline White. Now for the Battle people, most of them married another family from Battle called White. I'm also a White. I'm a White, a Woolard, a Pittman, a Ramsey, Anybody know those Harold's from Bucket Run? Anybody know the Hayes from Bucket Run and Battle? They're all Ramsey too. So, Tom and Harriet Woulard. They had a daughter named Susanna Woulard. Raise your hand if you're related to a lady named Missouri Battle Johnson. Any family, we can tell the story. Missouri's father was Bill Battle. Her mother was Susanna Woulard. They were first cousins. They loved each other just a little more than some other folks. Tom and Harry had a daughter named Emma. They had a son named Alonzo. They called him Juan. Where my people, Hollywood people. That's Alonzo Woulard and Emma Poe. They had a son named James Woulard. He married to a lady named Florence McCann from Battle. Had a guy named Sam Woulard. He was married to a lady named Anna Jenkins from Choctaw County. Had a son named George Woulard. He was married to a lady named Paula Poe from Bucket Run. Had a son named Henry Woulard. Henry Woulard was married to a lady named Jenny Poe. Jenny Poe and Alonzo Woulard's wife, Emma Poe, was sisters. Any Ron Woulard people in here? Ron Woulard is the youngest son of Tom and Harriet Woulard. They had a sister named Laura Woulard Loper. They had a daughter named Ella Woulard Johnson. Anybody here descended from Arthur Johnson from Battle? Anybody know Alice Smith? All those people are Ella Woulard Johnson. Oh, that's pretty much it. Francis Woulard Pittman. And I'm from Francis. I'm from Francis, daughter Mary Inez Pittman White. My great-great-granddad, Robert White. So those are the only three kids that we know that have children. Now, Jerry Woulard was married to a lady named Rhoda Dean. They had Eugene Woulard. Anybody know what's happening in Falls Point or someone in Jackson County named Floyd Lale Woulard? Died a couple of years ago. That was Jerry Woolard's oldest grandson. They had another son named Joe Woulard. Joe Woulard married a lady named Martha Gates from a community called Cransville. Those are the second group of people, those are the second group of Woollards who came to Hattiesburg. I got three grandsons. They had another son named Fred Woulard. He married a lady named Elena Gray from a Waynesboro community called Pleasant Grove. Going back to Tom Woulard, going back to Frank Woulard real quick. Frank Woolard's oldest son's name was Tom Woulard. The nephew Tom and the brother Tom seem to get confused sometimes. Tom Woulard was married to a lady named Frances Pope from Buckner. They had children named Manny Woulard Bivens, who lived in Dallas. Charlie Woulard, who lived in Vernon. Ralph Woulard, he was a big-time minister in Hattiesburg. He's the one that we're going to blame for having that second L. That's where it came from. They had a son named Robert Emory Woulard. They had a daughter named Hattie Woulard. First, she married Nathan White. And she married Charlie Woolard's wife, Elizabeth's brother Nathan. And they had a sister named Mercy. So Tom Woolard's family were the first one in Hattiesburg. Joe Woolard's family were the second one in Hattiesburg. So most of the family remained in battles.
You met Ralph Jr.
No, he's another generation. I'm just one of them. So they were the first ones to battle. We started seeing migration during the 20s and 30s. People started moving to Chicago, Cleveland, Mobile, because some of them are farmers. And as the family dispersed, those family connections that they had throughout the years, they started dispersing. Anybody from battles knows their people, but their kids might not necessarily know their people. And so one of the ways to continue ties or renew ties is to have a family reunion. So I actually started working on a family tree in 2010, and y'all found out, to be honest with you all, I started searching on the whites in the end. My cousin, Barbara Adams, lives in Warren, Ohio. Her granddad is really good friend. Her granddad is Sid Valley. And she said, you're going to run into the Woollards. I said, the Woollards? Now, I know I had cousins named Woolard. I didn't know I was a Woolard descendant. So I contacted the real family historian, my grandmother's first cousin, Marjorie Johnson Gann. And I was asking her what she know. And she said, my grandmother's name was Fanny Woolard. And I said, what can you tell me about it? She said, she said she cooked in a fireplace and she looked like a white woman. Now, I'm born in 1958, fireplace. But she had, she knew a lot of that history. She said Martha Battle was her sister. So I get on Facebook and I started searching for Woolard. There was a group called Woolard and Woolard. There was another one called Woulard-Woullard Battle and Triumph. And so I got on there and I was telling them who I was and what I was doing. And I would be remiss in not giving acknowledgement and thanks to the young man who couldn't be here, our cousin Curtis Woolard. Curtis actually started the Woolard group because he met another guy who was landed in Woolard in Florida, and because it's so rare, they thought they had his cousin. They got on Facebook, connected with each other, and then he started searching for other people named Woolard. So Curtis Woolard is actually the great-grandson of Sam Woolard, who was the son of Tom and Harriet. So without him meeting that Woolard and him doing Facebook, we all wouldn't have ever connected. So what I started welcoming everybody who was in the group. They thought, how you related? So I kept hearing names like Joe Woolard, Nathan Woolard, Patterson Woolard. I'm like, these some player names, but I ain't seen them in Dallas. And so I found out that they were all connected to a guy named Charlie Woolard. I found out Charlie was Tom's son, and that's really where it really started taking off. And so at the time, Curtis was planning a family reunion, but his grandmother died. And it just kind of went to the wayside. And I gave him about 90 days. On the 91st day, I called him, and I I'm sorry about your grandfather, but you can't cancel a family reunion. You can't. And so I hosted a reunion down here in 2012 for white men. And I was trying to get the Woullards involved because so many of them had it working out. And they were saying, if you put the Woulard name on there, we'll do it. I'm like, we can do white Indians instead of school. We can do Woulard by itself. And so because of the experiences that I had in 2012, mostly negative, I was like, we're going to do a Woulard. And so I was down here for the Candy reunion. I was there with my cousin Kyle and his wife, Melinda. And I'm like, I'm going to do a Woulard. And that's kind of how it came about. I set it up when we got the Candy reunion because I thought we'd be down here. And so we had older people saying, I didn't get any correspondence in the mail, you know your address. So a lot of them took on for Facebook. I got to see that we have to have at least 90 or 100 people. We're going to do this every 2 years. We're going to get one.
I want to add about the name, about it been made for 17 years. So about 22 years ago, the white bullets came. And they met at Mount Eagle Church, and they told us that the 2 L's were set aside for the white people. That's what they said. They told and said that, you know, the 1 L was for the black family. I mean, this is my question because I was so young at the time. But there were 2 families, his black family and a white family. And so down the line, they got mixed up as the same thing.
Right. Okay. Now Benjamin Woulard had a white family and a black family. He had a son named Erasmus that lived in Gulfport. He was the first white Woulard that I saw with a double L, but that wasn't until 1930. And so at least from 1870 to 1930, the Woullards, black and white, all had a single L. Erasmus was the first white Woulard to take a double L. But I tell people I'm a teacher, documentation beats conversation all the time. So Erasmus was the first white Woulard with a double L. Reverend Ralph Woulard was the first black Woulard with a double L. When Joe Woolard's family moved to Hattiesburg, they had 1 L. And then some of them took, yes.
Well, the way I understood it was just the opposite of what you said. He had 1 L, and he put another L in the black one name because he didn't want them to be slaves. Every Woolard that's black, 9% of them got 2 L's. Now I got a broker 1 L. Right. All this one in my family, they got 2 L's.
Right, but what I'm saying is that as we're doing the research, like
I ain't got nothing. I'm not just a big place. I got nothing for it when I just said.
No,
you can't be coincident because 2 of them got 2 L's.
No, I'm not just speaking that. Did Players Woolard have 1 L or 2?
So he got nothing wrong with it. He got 1 L. The rest of them got 2 L's.
Did J.P. Woolard have 1 L or 2?
2 L's. It's all fair. They got 2 L's. Go to the cemetery. You see?
I'm not. Well, and I don't want to turn into a big argument. I'm just saying that we're all going to have different perspectives on the family history. But the one thing that you got 1 L. My dad's birth certificate got 1 L. Your dad was born in state line.
That's just sell it to you. But we brothers, I got 2 and the rest of us got 2.
But I want 2. Okay, what I'm saying that is not deniable is that we understand Michael are not a business. Right. And there.
Right.
That's right. And so, you know, once upon a time, it was illegal for us to read and write. That's right. Now we educate, we minister, we doctor, we U.S. ambassadors, we are presidents of universities, we are garbage men, we are convicts, we are Americans. We are Americans. So a lot of us have been afforded opportunities that our ancestors did not have. People went from being slaves to raise your hand if you've never been to battle. Raise your hand if you have never been to battle. It's a battle. So, okay. So for those of you all who don't know, Dallas was an all-black town owned by our family. We went from working it to owning it. wrote, so Lisa Rogers, please stand up. Lisa was our tour guide yesterday. Every other name she was calling was Pete and Ollie Woulard. Why? It seemed like everything we rolled past, they owned it. Now, like I said, we owned all of that. Family lost land because people moved. People didn't pay taxes. People got swindled by white people. Family disputes. Because when we look at census records, we see Woulard and battles. Living next to each other. That was all there. But as family members started moving away, and daddy didn't have no kids left no more, they started losing land. Or there's another name y'all know, it's called the Revettes. I know y'all know the Revettes. We had a white lady who was driving the bus yesterday called her, Tia Brooks. We're handling it. I'll tell you about it. I'll get that Revette at your house. So we had like my great-grandparents, Jimmy White and Rick Kennedy, they moved to Chicago in 1944. Granddaddy got a job up there. He told Grandma, he said, sell an animal, sell an equipment, but keep the land. So at one time he had like 80 acres, now we got 7.5. I know he could count. People had, he had to sell the land for whatever he could get for it. The only people who had money was the Revette. So we still got that land. Anybody know Fanny White? That's my aunt. So she was her uncle Luke, the last people in my family. Y'all know Bounce White? Bounce White is Granddaddy Jimmy and Aunt Fanny's first cousin. So ain't no more people down there that ain't white. Who are actually white.
It's all across the road.
We have white descendants, but ain't no people with the name. So we still got that 7.5 acres. $98 a year.
My wife not paying the taxes. All the brothers and sisters knew about it. And all they had to pay was that little fee. And they didn't pay it. They lost their land.
So we just heard the story about people losing land because they didn't pay taxes. Like Sam Woulard had a son named Earl Woulard who lived up in Chicago. They had 160 acres. They lost it because the ones in Chicago was like, we ain't gonna never be down there. I cursed out. I'm like, you don't know what they had to do to get the 160 acres. You live in public housing. Right. You live in public housing. It's not knocking you for financial circumstances. You could have moved to Mississippi. You certainly would have been up working in Chicago. So, to kind of wrap this up, like I said, this is the first time we're doing this. It's not going to be the last. We're going to have this every 2 years. When I had thought about doing this, we wanted to do it on the coast. People were like, I want to help the Moss Point people, Pastor Woulard, Gulfport, we want to do this. And you heard from the Senate. Cousin Martin Woulard died earlier this year. She died earlier this year. Two of her nephews on her knees. And cousin Richard Woulard from Hattiesburg reached out to me and was like, "Cuz, are you still doing a reunion?" I'm like, "I'm fine." And they kind of looked down and grabbed me by the hand and they pulled me a bottle of water because without them, this reunion would not have taken place. Well, first you let please stand up. Already stand. Raise your hand. That's a shout today. Would cameraman Woulard let please raise a hand? Would cousin Donald Sanders Brown don't call 773 Patrick 68524 after the day. everybody to spread this. Billy Graham got the South. 2 years we back here in Mississippi. Is it gonna be Hattiesburg? I don't know. That's up to you all. So we got the guard. We do the seeds out there. We got plenty of water. Let's water the garden and come back together in 2017.